This horse's hoof is floating just a little bit off the ground. Also, the purple guy, whom we'll give the incredibly imaginative name of Purple Guy, has a cape that, while it looks cool, is fluttering in the wind, whereas nothing else in the shot is. Here's a good rule of thumb for any content creators. If Homestar Runner made fun of something, you're not allowed to use it. Wait, so this logo has a shadow and is emitting light. That makes it a diegetic object, which means something that actually exists in the world of the music video. If that's the case, how is it lit? Is it a tourist attraction? Do villagers have to walk around a giant The Blue Jerome animation statue? This sign and signpost are out of place. Not only is the texture for the sign just a flat color, but the signpost is textured with miniaturized cobblestone, which looks odd, especially since we see regular sized cobblestone in the same shot. Plus, the text isn't voxelized, when even the map later in the video is. Your motion blur can't hide the fact that the dad definitely just clipped the sword into that display holder. These character rigs don't have hands, which makes actions like the dad carrying the sword look distinctly painful. This is probably how he lost his hands. It's tough to get looping animations to look right, but here's a quick tip. Don't have a short looping animation running on identical objects at the same time. It looks really bad. Timmy's movements are meant to look natural, but look way too much like choreography that's timed to the music. We've talked about apple boxes before, where a short actor has to use a booster to fill the frame in a shot. This is the opposite, where Timmy's model is too tall for the shot to work normally. If Timmy were a real-life actor, a director would have him get on his knees or use a forced perspective to bring the podium closer to the camera. In this shot, though, I think Timmy's just clipping through the floor. More inconsistent texture sizes! These minecart rails are clipping through the ground and angled to make it look like they're shorter. The motion blur lags behind for a few frames. Also, that is terrible bow etiquette. You're not supposed to hang a bow by its string. This horse is so majestic. Its gallop so perfect. It looks to be gliding. Oh, wait. No, that's just because the animators forgot to add ups and downs to the horse's animation cycle. These splashes appear to be green screen overlays added in After Effects. They all pop up on one frame, don't match the lighting, and don't reflect in the puddle. Also, why is this random puddle here? It doesn't look like it was raining. It's almost as if the puddle was deliberately placed there by the animator for dramatic effect. The block is distorted into the floor, and the texture stretches with it. The texture on the horse's left sleeve jumps a bit. Timmy's father's foot is planted in midair. Also, he sort of hobbles out of the doorway. It might be because one of his legs temporarily turns into a stick. Also, that lighting is far too volumetric. It looks like he's standing in a void. You can vaguely see the grooves of the planks in the back, but that's about all. You can see that Timmy's run cycle doesn't begin until the camera fully pulls out to focus on him. If you look closely, there's an out-of-place reflective light in the bend of the dad's elbow. The very intense edge glow makes it look like the end of this guy's arm indents inward, like a box. The villagers have no ups or downs in their animation. It looks like they're moonwalking. If you're gonna make Purple Guy disappear in a single frame, at least sync it with the purple light flaring up. Purple Guy's khopesh suddenly snaps to clash against Timmy's dad's sword. All of Ant Venom's music videos have this linear style to them. In his recent videos, Ant Venom has refined this technique to give a sort of character to the animation. However, this is his first video, and his linear animation style is still pretty rough around the edges. Everything throughout the video just looks unnatural, and the characters are animated as if they don't know what they were doing. Because it's super distracting, I'm just gonna give 20 cents for this. After that first swing, Purple Guy is doing more of a dance than actually trying to harm a protagonist. When Purple Guy steps back here, he doesn't lift his feet. The villagers' expressions don't change at all during this scene. Everyone here is just standing around, neither moving out of the way or intervening. Also, these sparks are so obviously a stock effect added in post. It's so poorly tracked, and in one instance, you can literally see the edge of it. I'm going to add 10 cents for all the awful green screen elements in this video. This dude just plunged his iron sword halfway into the gravel path. Little Timmy? Where'd you go? You should be standing right by Purple Guy. Timmy's father's arms change position between shots. Also, so much clipping occurs when the dad falls onto the ground, adding 5 sins for all the clipping in this video. Maybe when you get up, you should try jabbing Purple Guy with those pointy feet of yours. I think it'd do a lot of damage. The slightest sliver of Purple Guy's eyes are still visible when he blinks. Why is the sky highlighter blue? Are we just coloring in the sky with highlighters now? Also, the edges of Timmy's face aren't affected by the depth of field. I know horses are sturdy beasts and all, but I'm pretty sure they'd react more to having a child dumped onto their neck. The subsurface scattering looks so fake in this video. His arm and face are super bright while the ground next to him is not at all. Not even the same color. Whatever happened to light bouncing? I have nothing wrong with using pupil dilation as a visual shorthand for fear and shock, but in this shot, it happens so slowly it just looks kind of weird. Timmy's dad is out here bending like Gumby, thanks to the awkward positions in this standing up animation. Oh, how I miss you, shot continuity. That floor is very noisy. A strange lighting glitch pops up for a frame on the dad's arm. Also, you know you could have just moved those shears, right? There's plenty of room on that counter to put down the map. Also, Mr. I hate shears with the burning passion's arm freaks out severely as he moves it here. It looks as though he has a sheet of skin layering the end of his hand here, further pushing the theory that there are grooves, which is disconcerting. The right side of his face is overexposed. All of these shovels are hanging from wall hooks, except for this one, which is just magically floating. The edge glow is so unnecessarily intense in some of these shots. I'm gonna go ahead and sin all of it here. Also, hold up. If I recall correctly, houses are supposed to be on the ground. Where the heck even are we? This diamond chestplate is way too reflective. I guess during the training montage, he just randomly decided, you know, this would be the perfect time to install that door onto my wall that leads into my wall. There's zero anticipation when he flips here. Also, his movements are so weightless here. You guys do know swords are heavy, right? Look, I know you really like those swords and all, but I still think you should try incorporating using those feet as daggers. That is not what a backfull looks like. He literally uses no momentum and just jitters around in the air. Also, what? Who decided that he should be making a sword with a pickaxe? If you aren't gonna make a hammer model, then use an axe. That would look at least somewhat better. It seems like a huge fire hazard to just have your forge and anvil inside a wooden room that has a large throw rug in the middle of it. I mean, all it would take would be one little metal scale to fly off the sword and land on your rug for your entire house to just go up in flames. Mr. Slab has seen better days. And he's just handling the red hot sword with his bare hands. No tongs, nothing. We're adding an epilepsy warning to the start of this video, but it's worth pointing out that the original doesn't have one. Yikes. The thin lighting bug in his elbow pit is back. This horse's legs, although bending, look stiff because said bends happen very quickly. The mom's chin shadow is floating? A man and his horse riding off to find their missing shadows. This shot is so plain. Get it? Here the map has either been scaled up or the characters have been scaled down. Either way, it's a sin. The white fade goes over the letterbox. I'm guessing this fade was added in After Effects and wasn't cropped so it would only affect the animation. Also, Timmy's arm's motion blur causes the edge of the frame to bug out. This lava's not flowing despite going downhill. Timmy should be slightly visible in this shot. The cloth physics on Purple Guy's cape freak out at the beginning of the shot. Also, this dramatic cape throw would have been so much better if the cape hadn't spazzed out. This run cycle has barely any ups and downs. Ladies and gentlemen, the face of a child who's about to see his father get dropped into a purple abyss. Well, that foot bending's gonna give me nightmares for a week. Purple Guy starts to look up before the pearl even emerges from the mist. Does he have like prophet powers or something now? These two just go through this wall before the shot changes, and then, once it does, multiple blocks proceed to float into others. Like, I know we sinned clipping collectively, but this felt major enough to be pointed out separate from that. Torch Flame Green Screen Fire Effect from Video Copilot's Action Essentials 2. Yeah, I know what you did. This, ladies and gentlemen, is arcing at its lowest. Why are you holding this face for so long? You're looking at Purple Guy and can clearly see and feel that you didn't get hit with the sword. Timmy's dad just menacingly slides over behind Purple Guy. It takes a serious dramatic moment and makes it comical. A random shadow appears on Purple Guy's arm. Once Timmy's dad reaches this position, he stays there, completely frozen, until he gets up 3 shots later. There's about a 1 centimeter perimeter around Purple Guy where the depth of field is just non-existent. Also, having a callback is fine and all. Just don't copy and paste the animation from when it happens the first time. What would have been more convincing is if we didn't see Purple Guy pull almost completely away from the wall. Also, this slime PNG is poorly masked. The edges are all messed up. Purple Guy moves to a completely different position between shots. This block's confused, but it has spirit. Ah, yes. Everyone knows how well cubes roll. None of the pieces of armor blew off the stand when Purple Guy imploded, and yet, here we are. In conclusion, this was a pretty average music video, and a passable debut entry for Ant Venom. As I said, Ant Venom's style is still being developed at this point, and it shows with some of the rougher animation. The story wasn't really that compelling. Nothing grabbed my attention and made me want to like it. Thankfully, Ant Venom has gone on to make much better material in recent years, and I'd recommend seeing this one if you want to get a sense of where he started.
So we back in the mind. Hey, Morty!